Hey everyone, Mark here at Discover Your Home, and tonight we're going to just talk a little bit about kind of preparing for emergencies, having an area set aside in your home just for preparation in case, say, you get snowed in, rained in, or you can't get out, like we said with the current virus that's kind of been going on. Uh,
Sounds good.
it may not be a bad idea moving forward as humans and animals like to store and prepare for, say, a rainy day or whatever. So today I'm just going to talk to you about just setting a little place aside in, or just a reminder in an area of your home to have things available maybe to you or to your family during such incidences or crises or challenges. So what are some of the things that you might want to have additional? Let's talk about medical supplies, just basic band aids, aspirin, ibuprofen, things that are over the counter drugs, things that just can be need to be taken, can help take care of you, patch you up, and get you going forward. Just having a little extra supply of that. Actual medications that you're on, making sure that you have additional medications, maybe stable, shelf stable food, toilet paper. That's another one. That's a big one that we saw here, kind of a rush on an area. So it really doesn't hurt to plan a little bit. And I'm not talking about building up a big old shelter or whatever. Just maybe setting an area aside somewhere in your home to have some things just in case you're not kind of surprised by anything and you have a little bit of a backup. It's always kind of nice. And then you can inventory it and really kind of say where you're going with it and what you really need to have. So one of the things that we'd probably recommend is make sure you have shelving. Whether you pick it up at, say, a Home Depot, or you build it in with, say, 2x4s and plywood, put some shelving. Make sure things don't get kind of settled on the floor, especially, say, in a basement area where there is a little bit of moisture transfer through the concrete. So definitely want to keep things off the floor. So shelving units would be great. That also helps you keep things organized. I'm also going to recommend smaller bins for smaller items, say medicines or things of medical supplies, things that may require just a little bit more of a smaller storage in that larger storage capacity. Food, toilet paper also going to be placed on shelves. So we want to make sure that any food is really bagged up very well or contained very well, making sure you don't get ants or any sort of type of bugs or mice or whatever. So going that extra mileage on that, and that's something I am not going to get into to telling you what you should be, how you should be storing it. But there are ways that you can store things above and beyond, say, the packaging, say, purchased in the store. So and you also may want to get an additional freezer just for some additional meat, vegetables, frozen fruits, things of that nature. Just wouldn't hurt. You may have to, depending upon the size of the refrigerator you purchase, check the amps on it, how many amps it takes. You may need to have to put a separate circuit in for that, but that's something that generally you may not have to. Okay, most of the refrigerators that I see out there, residential freezers or even refrigerators, usually don't need anything more than a 15 amp circuit, and usually you'll have that in a house. So sometimes in that case, you may want to consider putting it in an extra circuit just alone for the freezer. So if you have an investment of several hundred or several $1,000s of meat and produce in that freezer, you want to make sure you keep that investment solid. So why do you want to create a food storage area? It's really peace of mind more than anything. It's having these things at your disposal. You don't know whether the weather's going to be a challenge for you. There also, we could talk about, what kind of, if you have lack of power or lack of heat, these things that go on. So you may have to be focused on another set of problems that you're being faced with, as opposed to just say food or medical supplies or toilet paper or things that are give you, like I said, bring you a little bit of peace of mind. So it may not be a bad idea. You know, you don't want to be rushing around, say in this current situation with the virus, that you're putting yourself out there with, say, other people that are contagious, or maybe you are. Just you want to make sure that you're doing some smart things here and making some really good choices for you and your family. I think really bottom line is it just being prepared for things that probably never happen is not necessarily a bad thing. I think you'll find firemen and police officers will tell you that you need to do certain things with your home to make them fire safe, or make them safe from people that are outside trying to get into your home. So these are things that you might want to plan for moving forward. Ideally, I find that basements are really the best area. Or if you have a first floor bedroom or first floor office that the kids have moved out and you want to put in a place where you can do it. It's a great place, like I said, is basements are key generally because there's not a lot going on down there. It's cool. It's dark generally. It's not overly lit in some aspects of unfinished basements. So it's a really good location for a lot of different things. It allows you to account for everything, put it in place, how long you've had it, kind of an accounting system of all the items that you might have, and you can use them as you're going forward. And you might be surprised that you're buying them at a little cheaper rate now than, say, at a time when things get a little bit more excitable and the environment is a little more unknown. Uncertainty can cause panic and can cause prices to raise. So maybe it's one of these things that you might want to consider for yourself. Just kind of a way to just take care of yourself in a time where you don't have to make that decision. So thanks again for joining me. Hopefully this helps you guys out, and we'll talk to you soon. I'm Mark, and this is Discover Your Home.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Discover Your Home with your host, Mark Lotz. Online at LotzRemodeling.com. That's Lotz, Lotz, remodeling.com. And on Twitter and Facebook at Lotz Remodeling. We'll catch you next time.